Welcome to the Chickabone News Network. I'm always bringing you stories from Key West, Florida to Honolulu, Hawaii, and all the states in between. But I very rarely show y'all any of the news here in Augusta. There's plenty of it to be showing you, like this story right here. This is about the fellas. There's a lot of drug dealing going on here in Augusta, Georgia, and they're starting to clamp down on it just a little bit. And this story right here is pretty interesting. It's going to show you a whole bunch of fellas, and really that's all they're showing you, all the fellas. Now, is it just the fellas in the drug deal, the drug business here in Augusta? No, it ain't. But these are some of the main ones. And Sheriff Roundtree, he's starting to round some of them up. Check this story out.
Agencies teaming up for a big drug bust. That announcement coming today in Augusta. 33 people are under arrest. News Channel 6's Devin Johnson was there. He's live in our newsroom now. And Devin, the sheriff's office says this bust stretches from here to Atlanta.
Brad, the investigation has been going on for 2 years. This is the sixth major operation for the Richmond County Sheriff's Office. And they say they're letting criminals know they'll be busted.
Operation Snowfall, the name of the investigation because the amount of drugs and cocaine seized. During the investigation, federal agents and sheriff office investigators seized more than $500,000 in cash, more than 2 kilos of cocaine, 32 grams of crack cocaine, more than 9 pounds of marijuana, and 33 guns.
So that's 32 individuals that we've sent the message out, and to everyone else that, like I said before, we're getting quite good at these operations, and we're going to continue these operations.
The indictments come from a 2-year investigation. The sheriff says they got a tip about drug-related activities happening in a South Augusta location. 3 of them were actively involved in homicides in Richmond County from 2017, 2018, and 2019. So you just don't have the drugs, you have the guns, and you have murder. Sheriff Roundtree says it started with Terrence Freeman, then continued with members of his family. The sheriff says the suspects were delivering cocaine from Atlanta to several locations through this region. You had one individual who recruited his sons, his brothers, his cousins. It's a criminal enterprise that you see on television or you see in the movies. 8 people have been charged so far. If convicted, they could face fines and 20 years to life in prison.
The average citizen can tell when something is out of character because of the kind of traffic that goes in and out of a place or in and out of a neighborhood.
Green says this is a perfect example of if you see something, say something.
It's time for the local authorities to not so much as focus on these little street dealers as opposed to the ones who are actually dealing weight.
And Sheriff Roundtree adds the Operation Snowfall is still ongoing. There are 9 suspects that are identified and still at large. Count on News Channel 6 to keep you updated on this developing story. Brad, back to you.
All right, Devin, thanks.
Well, Sheriff Roundtree, he's rounding some of them up. Yep, getting these fellas off the street. But you know it's not going to do much good if we see the same thing happening here that we're seeing everywhere else across America, where the judges are just sitting in low bails and letting them get right back out and do worse and worse crimes. I'm finding story after story about how these judges, I really don't understand how they can say they are doing the right thing, because they're not doing the right thing. They're letting people right back out on the streets. And then, like one story I did, I think it took 37 times for them to for this guy to violate his bond before they finally did something. And then it was too late then, because he already shot somebody else while he was out on a murder charge. So, these police officers, they risk their lives. All of them ain't good now. Some of them are some bad apples, now I admit that. But you got to realize they out there doing a job trying to keep the cities cleaned up, keep the streets safe, and these judges are just turning them right back loose. Well, anyhow, there's a little bit of news from here in Augusta, Georgia, home with James Brown. And I got a story coming up, probably be Saturday or Sunday. It'll be at least Saturday evening before I download it, or Sunday morning. I signed me and Stacy up for a James Brown tour. That's right. We're going to take a bus tour around Augusta. And I've already checked it out, and she's real thorough about James Brown and his history and here in Augusta. And I think y'all going to enjoy it. And I've got some questions prepared for her that I don't think she's ready for about James Brown. And I'd like to see what her answers are going to be, or she beats around the bush. Because you know they're going to paint James to look good. And, you know, that's what it's about. But I've got some very interesting questions about old Godfather of Soul that I want to see if I can get a straight answer from her, or she going to be hemming and hawing. All right, I'll catch y'all next time. Pop, pop, pop.
Remarkable. Remarkable. I says remarkable. Remarkable.